Hi guys, welcome back to Run4Adventure. We've got a bit of a nighttime adventure planned out on the coast path tonight. So we've got our head torches, we've got our kit. There's a big race coming up in Cornwall in about a month's time. So let's get out on the coast path and we'll tell you a bit more about it when we get there. We are at Land's End. It is the 28th of December at roughly 7 o'clock. I'm just going to step out of the wind so you can hear me. I thought it would be an awesome idea to come out onto the Arc route with the Arc happening in just over a month's time. We thought we'd come out to Land's End and we would run what I personally feel is the toughest section of the race. So Land's End through to St Ives, super challenging. For those guys who don't know what the Arc is, it's a 100-mile foot race on our beautiful Cornish coast path in winter. So tough conditions, tough underfoot, challenging route. Quite a lonely place to come and run by yourself. So I've brought a bit of company. So come on, I know you're camera shy. Yeah, we are with Mr. Wyatt, AKA the Pirate. We're going to be running together. Like I say, we're going to show you some of the route. If you don't know of Steve, he's pretty good at the Arc of Attrition. Run it 5 times, won it 4 times, and came second last year, only beaten by Kim Collinson. So pretty handy, good guy to have out on this route, but it's bloody freezing. My hands are shivering. We're going to get out on the route, and like I said, hopefully, even though it's going to be dark, we're going to try and show you some of the route and show you the tricky points and highlight how challenging this section is. It's the crux of the race, that's for sure. Let's get running, we're freezing. So we are just about to head out from Land's End. The section is about 24 miles. We're going to be running through Cape Cornwall, Pendeen, Zena, St Ives and on to Cardiff Bay where we're going to finish. First tricky part now, if you can hear me because of the wind, we're a mile in. Very easy to go wrong here. We want to drop down into Senan down the steps. There's a much clearer defined path to your right, which I have taken many a times running out here and ended up in the middle of a housing estate. You actually want to aim landing on turret, and there is a path just to our left-hand side, which we'll show you now. So, turret just in the distance. This is the path you want. It's going to take you down to Senan. So let's drop down, let's get to Senan, and then we'll show you how you get through Senan and back on the coast path. So we are down in Senan, we have just run through the car park in Senan, and normally they'll have someone here to marshal you onto the coast path again. Quite easy to go down the slipway and head onto the beach, which is the wrong way. See the surf shop there? Head for the surf shop, and then you can see where Steve's going, up the path. That is the coast path. Like I said, normally they'll have a marshal here. Without the marshal, without local knowledge, quite easy to go the wrong way there. I know because I've done it several times, but then again, my navigation skills are rubbish. We're back on the coast path. Next tricky section, you've got a bit of a fork in the path here. So you've got a left, you've got a right hand path, and you've got a little icon here. A lot of guys will head off left. Looks like a clear path, looks like you're sticking to the coast path, but really again, you want to follow Steve, you want to head off up to the hill and to the gate. If you drop down to the left, you're going to be on the beach and it takes you into all kinds of trouble. So right hand path at the icon, past the gate, follow the hill, up to the top. So we just dropped down to Gwenver. So far so good, pretty dry underfoot. What I will say about this first section is if you can have a dry shoe in your drop bag, or if you've got a crew that can have a dry shoe for you, it is well worth changing your shoes at Land's End if you can. you can get about 4 or 5 dry miles. Even in winter when it's wet, this section of the coast path is super dry. Top tip, change your shoes into a dry shoe at Land's End. Steve's surrendered already. We come along the beach is to the left of me. You can see this staircase leading up to the right. It has a little yellow arrow. We don't follow yellow arrows, don't go up them staircases. You want to run along these rocks all the way back onto the coast path again. Ignore the staircase on your right, stay on the beach. Nice metal pipe to hurdle. If you hurdle that pipe, you know you're going the right way. We've got the first bit of bouldering on the route. Quite a lot of this parts on the route where you literally are scrambling over rocks. Obviously that's what makes it super tough. It's a really hard route to get in a rhythm, especially on tired legs, you know. That's why I personally feel this is the toughest section. Anybody who has run the Arc, I should imagine, will agree with me. Definitely the toughest section. You hit it 50 odd miles into the race, you're fatigued, you're sleep deprived, so you're struggling with sleep, you're feeling tired, and then you hit this super technical section. So easy to catch your foot, have a stumble, have a trip, and quite easy to lose your way as well. You can see that is pretty technical. That's the main reason why you have to stay on the footpaths. There's a lot of mine shafts out here. Don't wander off. It's a dangerous place to be. So it seems to be a lot more signage out here this time around. I haven't run out here for a few months. There's definitely more signage. Just crossed 2 little wooden bridges. So you drop down, if you cross them 2 wooden bridges, you are on track and heading the right way. We're off to Pendine. We are 4 miles in and we both still have dry feet. It's time for lecture. You've got 2 choices. You go straight on, or where Steve is, down to the left. Personally, I go left because up there is the wrong damn way, and believe me, you can end up in the middle of nowhere. Funnily enough, I've done that as well. Gone up there for a mile, realised I've gone the wrong way, had to come back a mile. Not good on tired legs, soul destroying. So at the lecture sign, hang a left. It's a bit sheltered here. We've just arrived at Cock Valley, an infamous part of the race. Sometimes the marshals and the race directors are very helpful, and this area will be glow sticked, and it really does help out. So we just come from that direction, from the footpath. You come across this coast path sign. There is a clear path on your right, nice and defined, but you want to go straight on, down the rocks, down the steps, heading off down into the valley, Cock Valley. A much more direct route. If you head off up right, you got a good couple of miles extra, and like I said, it might be glow sticked, it might not be. So do a left straight down at the coast path sign at Cock Valley. We're down in the valley now. Brings back pretty bad memories, to be honest. Last time I ran the Arc, this is where I DNF'd. I let myself get way too cold. It was a cold year. By the time I got here, pretty hypothermic, slurring my words. Luckily, good friends were in a van and they really saved me, but it was definitely time to pull out of the race, just for safety more than anything. So bad memories, but onwards and upwards. We'll show you where you turn off this road out of Cock Valley. So you come up the tarmac road and you can see where Steve is. This is the path. Don't carry on straight up, veer off to the left again. Sometimes this will be glow sticked, which is really helpful, but you never know. Depends how friendly and helpful the race directors are feeling. So do a left, up the steps, and you can see you've got a bit of a climb coming up now. So that's Cock Valley onto Pendine. So you've got a big old climb out of Cock Valley. Obviously in the race I wouldn't be running this. And same old story, come out here with Wyatt, gonna take it easy, he says, gonna take it steady, have a nice comfortable run. Off he goes into the distance, me left hyperventilating, hanging on for dear life. You think I'd have learned by now? Oh well, let's dig in. We stopped just for a second just to highlight how technical and how tricky this section is. Yeah, even the master falls over sometimes. He just actually said, I don't know whether you heard him under his breath, that it was because he was running slow to try and make me catch up. What a load of nonsense. Bless you. But that really does highlight, on a serious note, this is technical running and we're fresh, we got fresh legs, and he's still taking a tumble. When your legs are heavy and you're struggling, this is super challenging. Do not underestimate this race. We are just heading down the gravel path to Cape Cornwall now. Nice runnable section, quite tough on the feet though, pretty rocky. As you come down the hill, you want to go straight on. Do not do a left down the slipway there, down the hill, down Cape Cornwall, carry straight on. You can see where Steve's running. Then you just want to follow it round to the left hand side. There's a big car park up here, there's always lots of crew, lots of action going on in the race, so you'll probably hear and see that. But head off up the hill, heading towards the car park. You've got the car park here, round to your left. Cape Cornwall, lots of action, lots of cars going on here, lots of crew, lots of support. And then you leave Cape, leave the car park past the sign, don't go up the road, cross over to your left, back onto the coast path, and then a sharp right up the top of the hill, and we're back on the coast path. And we're 6.2 miles in, 10k, and my feet are still dry. It's amazingly dry out here for the time of year. Ferg, you might have to get the hose pipes out, mate. I don't think it's wet enough for you. Obviously, we've still got a month to race day. Things can change drastically. Another section where you can go wrong. We got a footpath sign. Very easy, just to, when you're tired, just to run straight on up the hill, and again you're going to head into the middle of nowhere. You have to turn left down the slope over the stream. So we got a little stream here as well. So again, you can see the sign, don't go straight on. We want to do a left at the fork. Again, follow the coast path sign where it says Batalic. That's where we're off to. Batalic, next stop. Quite a big climb up here out of the valley. Again, there's no mega climbs on the route, but this section, there's lots of short, sharp, steep climbs and ascent. It's pretty relentless, really. There's not a massive amount of flat stuff to run on at all. It's up and down pretty much the whole way through. Running out of the valley, you can see a coast path sign here. There's not really a sign to go right up this steps. A lot of people will go straight on. You don't want to do that. We're going to do a right up the hill and up the steps. That is the correct path. All the way up to the... Ah! Oh my God! Oh dear. Why do I do this to myself? So, like I was saying before, I was rudely interrupted. Up to the stile, big solid concrete stile, over the top. But do a right at the bottom. So easy to go on. And back up we go. And watch out for idiots jumping out from behind walls or hedges. You can't take him anywhere, I tell you. We are just coming into Batalic. We are, well, just under 8 miles in. So up the steps, and then you're on this sort of gravel road, pretty runnable. Obviously, that might be a bit different when you've got 60 miles in your legs. So again, coming to the sign, you can see the red arrows. That's the public byway, coast path, hang a left to Levant. So when you come to this sign, hang a left. What I am noticing is the path seems a lot better signed this year. So there's a lot of these coast path signs that never used to exist. So 3 or 4 years ago, the route was a lot more challenging to navigate. So should be alright, plenty of signage. Little bit of Christmas cheer on the coast path. Not sure that will be at the end of Jan, but nice to see. You got Pendine Lighthouse flashing away in the distance. Again, I don't know whether you can pick that up. There she is. So Pendine Lighthouse flashing away. Always a point in the race where I see that lighthouse flashing and I think, oh dear, here we go. Pendine's coming up. I personally think it is the toughest section of this whole race. I've never run through there in the Arc of Attrition and had a particularly good time. Always struggled, always suffered. So hard to get in a rhythm. Underfoot conditions are always muddy, wet, technical. So we'll try and show you a bit of it if we can. But we are heading to Pendine, and I personally think this is where the race begins. Following the coast path signs acorn and arrow. Always follow the acorn and the yellow arrow straight across. So once you come down the gravel pathway, look for the bridge. You've got the stream running underneath, water flowing, big pipes, lots of chimneys around. You can't really miss this bridge. The path leads you straight there. Drop down and again off we go. You come to these white and blue gates. You can see the number there. Don't do a right. You want to hang a left. Follow the road up. We are heading towards Pendine Lighthouse. Another top tip I couldn't recommend enough. If you've got a crew, have them at Pendine. Great to see familiar faces. Great to top up, get some energy, get some water, because you're going into a section that is really hard to be reached by crew. So you want to do all your topping up at Pendine, get yourself ready to take on the most challenging part of the route, Pendine to St Ives. Bye! Yeah, if you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm saying goodbye to dry feet. We have got 10.1 miles. We've been out here for what, an hour and 45 minutes. This is where we say goodbye to dry feet. Goodbye to runnable trail, goodbye to happy faces, and we are entering Pendine. I call it the Badlands. This is a super tough section, and I'll show you what I mean by tough running, shocking conditions, super technical. We'll try and capture it on camera so you can see what you're going to have to deal with in the Arc of Attrition 2020. Here we are. The dry feet have definitely gone. This is the first sign of what's awaiting the runners. Super wet along here. I mean, it's like a river. There's no way you can avoid this, but if you're careful in them first 10 miles from Land's End, you can keep your feet dry, and it really is worth making the effort. But you can see now, you just got to give it up. Yeah, that's cold water, and that's about ankle deep, so we're pretty much running down a river at the moment, and to be honest, it just gets worse from here. So this is where the fun begins. Are your feet wet, Steve?
Drop something, boys. Drop something.
You what?
The snorkel. You dropped the snorkel.
Oh dear. Here we go. Fun and games through Pendine. The good thing is, if your feet are a bit sore at this section, the water's so cold it kind of numbs them. So it's pretty useful. So you drop down the valley, you come to a metal gate. Remember, put wildlife first. Through the gate. Always shut and latch the gates. Top tip, dropping down to the bridge into the valley, pretty rocky underfoot, down to the bridge, and then we are heading back up a climb. You can see where Steve is, across the bridge, up the steps. This whole section is up and down, super rocky, super technical. So we're just taking a bit of shelter behind this wall. It's a bit windy up here. Taking on a bit of nutrition, super important. Even on fresh legs, you know, this is a tough section. Bit of ginger cake, bit of butter. No, it's good, man. No, it's proper tasty.
Jamaican ginger cake. Homemade. Diddle.
Is it really? Only the finest produce for these athletes. So hopefully that'll give me a bit of energy. I had a bit of a wobble through there. My old legs felt a bit hollow, but I'm sure that'll give me a lift. Onwards we go. This is a section of the race that is always good fun. This is a proper bog fest. So if you like running through mud and slurry that's about knee deep, you're going to love this section. It's great fun. Obviously that is not the truth. It's bloody horrible. It's super tiring. It sucks a lot of energy away from you, and again, when you're struggling, you're fatigued, you're tired, this section, brutal. I have staggered through here many a time in a bad way. This section is what makes the race so tough. You've got quite a lot of boulder jumping through this section again on fresh legs like we are now. Not a problem when you tie different kettle of fish. You can hear and see the amount of water. This is all runoff from the fields. So lots of farming out this way. So lots of runoff. Again, you just can't really avoid it. You've just got to wade through and do the best you can. Shin deep water. Welcome to Pendeen. Yeah, I just trod in a bog several times. That was a close call. Back there, massive bog, foot just disappeared. How I didn't face plant in the mud, I'll have no idea. Oh my god, got a bit of whiplash. That's just Pendeen running, bog central. Tricky little section here coming through Pendeen. We're sort of almost through Pendeen now, heading to Zena, but really easy to get lost along this section. There is a path, but again at night it's quite hard to find if you're not a local and you don't know the route particularly well. There is some little coach path signs, but they're tiny. Really hard to see them at night. You have to stay high. If you stay high, don't drop down. Stay high, you'll find this sign, and there it is. So this tiny little sign here, coast path left, that's what you're looking for. And we are dropping down into the valley, and then again a pretty technical descent, and then a reasonably big climb at the other side, And again, we'll show you at the top. There's another place at the top where lots of people go wrong, and you can end up in a pretty bad place, dropping down to sea and ending up almost having to climb your way out of it. So you definitely don't want to do that. It's much easier going the right way. So you come up to the top of that climb once you dropped into the valley, a few rocks to navigate, and it looks like the path just goes straight on, and lots of people end up doing that. It's very easy to miss the right path. So as you come along, there is a right hand turn that again stops you going into the valley, which is a bad place to be. Don't go straight on, it's not signed, there's no markings anywhere. You want to get to the top, you've got rocks all around you, and you want to take this right hand path. Like I said, it's not marked, but it's definitely the right way, and it leads you to a nice runnable trail. So follow the path along. Don't go over the rocks straight ahead, that just leads you inland to the fields. You want to do a left, again it's not signposted. Follow it all the way down and you will start to pick up the coast path signs again. So all the way along, don't go straight on, take a left at the wall, follow it down, and again you will pick up the coast path sign, which is right there. Over we go. And we are making good progress. On to Zena. The ginger cake and butter work wonders. I feel like I've got a bit of energy back again. Thank you very much, Mr. Wyatt, for supplying the ginger cake. And again, once we get to Zena, it's still pretty tricky from Zena, but I think if you crack this, you make it up the steps at Zena, it's a lot more runnable after there. The trail flows a bit, there's still a bit of climbing, it's still challenging, but definitely easier running. And you've cracked it. Once you get to Zena, about 5.5 miles to St Ives, and there's a nice big warm checkpoint in the guild hall waiting for you. Yeah, you did see that right. Steve just topped his water up from this horrible, disgusting,
lovely Cornish fresh stream,
farmer field runoff. But you know, he's tough, he can handle it. I would personally just bring more water, but yeah. Safer option. I wouldn't recommend it. Kids, don't do that at home. Thought we'd just have a quick stop and we would show you the most dangerous and ridiculous steps you will ever come across in your life. Steve is just about to demonstrate how ridiculous they are. They have got to be the shallowest steps in the world. The only way to go down them is, I mean, it's ridiculous. Especially when you're tired, you're like this. Unbelievable. But on a serious note, they are proper dangerous. You can fall and slip and hurt yourself pretty easily. So definitely take care on the crazy steps. Always welcoming to see that sign. Sign for Zena. We're within touching distance. For me in the race, getting to Zena is always a highlight. I kind of know the Badlands of Pendine are out the way. I know the Zena, just a nice section like the back of my hand, so it gives me a lot of confidence, and it's a bit more runnable. There's some more runnable sections. You can get in a bit more of a rhythm than the stuff we've been on for the last 4 or 5 miles. We are getting this done. We are getting closer and closer to the bright lights of St Ives. Better concentrate. It's a bit technical here, a bit rocky. This is actually a footpath, but at the moment it's a river. Quite a big climb here, going up to the Zena steps, and this is wet, man. I don't think I've ever seen it quite like this. Amazing. It literally is a river. I have never seen it that wet. Crazy. I don't know whether they've rerouted the water.
redirected itself.
Yeah, I've never seen it like that.
We need to put a bit of granite across there.
Yeah, and that's just washing the path. I mean, it's like just a big gully. That was tough.
That wasn't runnable at all, was it?
No, no, no. I've never, you know, even in the depths of winter, never seen it like that. So we're in the rocky section just before the steps leading up to Zena. This is proper ankle breaking territory, so you have to tread carefully. There is a safe path through, but it can be tricky to find it, especially when you're tired and it's in the middle of the night. So pick your way through carefully. Brings you to the bridge, over the bridge, and then we are heading up the Zena Steps of Doom. A nice big step for your tired legs, as Steve just runs off like he's done nothing. That sign is definitely a welcome sight in this race. Another top tip: if you've got crew, you can't access this by vehicles, but someone can walk down with some clothing, with a box full of nutrition, water as a top up. I've done this race a few times when I've got to the top of here and I'm broken, and I've always had a super crew in this race, and a couple of times having someone here with a box, with some warm clothing, or just to see a friendly face gives you such a lift. It's about a mile walk from parking. You can bring a box down with kit. You know, really does help in this race. And from here on, way more runnable. You're almost at St Ives. If you get to St Ives and you beat that calf, you have cracked this race. Pretty technical again, pretty slippy, wet rocks. Make sure you've got some shoes with good grip on. Another top tip, believe it or not, I've stood on the start line of the Arc a few times looking down at people's feet, and you see all kinds of footwear, people in road shoes, some crazy stuff. You definitely want a bit of grip and a bit of traction on your shoes. We are coming up to 18 miles, so not far to go until we are back in the safety of St Ives. And I've got to be honest, I'm looking forward to it. After a day's work, a busy day's work, straight out on the coast path. What's the time, Steve?
On my special Casio, almost 11 o'clock.
So I'm about ready for bed, to be honest. How are you feeling, Steve?
Yeah, I'm ready for bed.
Yeah, Steve's ready for bed too. So let's get...
It's a good idea to come out this time.
I know, stupid idea. I'm not even running the bloody Arc. What am I doing out here? Anyway, let's get to St Ives and let's get home. So about a mile or so out of Zena, don't be shocked when you come to this outcrop of rocks. You can see Steve working his way across it. The path pretty much disappears and you just have to climb and clamber and make your way across it the best you can, really. Pick a route, aim straight ahead and go for it. Like I said, it's a bit sketchy, some big old rocks to get over, but it's not a big area. You're soon across it. Again, it's just finding a safe path across back to the coast path. A lot of people get here and think they've gone the wrong way. You haven't. It's just a little bit of scrambling, and you can see there Steve's back on the path. So it's only a short section, but again, you can hit it with a tired mind and think, oh God, have I gone the wrong way? You haven't. Just plot your way through and definitely take care. And that's it, we're through, back on the coast path. So apart from the odd bits of scrambling and bouldering, there's some much more drawn out, runnable, flatter sections on this section of the route. So if you've got some energy, or you've saved a bit of energy, you can make a bit of time up on this section. Way more runnable than the previous miles we've done, so you can tick along here quite comfortably. Yeah, there is just a little treat for you before you hit St Ives, and we are back into the bogs. So if you thought your feet were going to stay dry, think again. This is super boggy. Electric fence on the right, don't grab hold of that when you're standing in a puddle, but you just got to resort to getting wet, muddy feet again. We have just hit the stone path before St Ives. I would say it's the last technical bit of running pretty much the whole race, to be honest. There's a little bit more technical stuff up on the North Cliffs, but don't take your eyes off the prize, keep focused. Again, the last thing you want to do is have an accident here, but you get over this. Again, you can see the lights of St Ives. Even tonight it's a good sight, and we've only run from Land's End, so you can imagine in the race this is an awesome sight. And you have the Guildhall waiting for you, a main checkpoint, an awesome team of massage therapists led by Kate Skipper, who has been treating myself and Steve for years. She is one of the best in the business, so if you're struggling, get to St Ives, they'll patch you up and get you on your way. We are back in St Ives, back on the flat streets. A couple of miles to go to Carver's Bay. So literally run along the harbour front in St Ives. If you want to hang a right, there will be marshals out here pointing you in the right direction. It's so well run, the Arc of Attrition by Mike Cruiser. You'll know where you're going, there'll be people leading you in. So yeah, you've got the Guildhall just up here on the right, which is the major checkpoint. So Guildhall, straight through the white doors. It is a welcome sight at the end of that super tough section. You will go in there, you will be super well looked after, and you'll come out of there knowing that you've cracked the arc. You know, if you make it here by the cutoff, you can pretty much almost walk all the way to the finish. So if you get through that checkpoint, Arc of Attrition is in the bag.
I might sleep here.
Come on, Steve, come on. That is done. We are back in Carver's Bay. Even on fresh legs, that is a tough run. So hopefully that'll give you an insight into how technical and how tricky that section is. So if you've never run it before, if you're not going to get a chance to recce it, it might give you a bit more idea of what you've got to face. But I'm trashed. 24 miles, just over 5 hours. I'm tired, I've had a good workout. We are off to bed, obviously not together or anything weird like that, but we're going to get a shower. I'm off to bed, and we'll have a debrief tomorrow morning. I've had a good sleep now, and boy did I need it after that run last night. I'm not running the Arc this year, but it's become a bit of a tradition to get on that technical section for a run at night time, about a month out from race day. Really hope you enjoyed the footage we captured last night on the run, and I hope you find it useful when it comes to maybe you taking on the Arc this year. I think it really highlights how challenging and how demanding the Arc can be, and also how you should never underestimate taking on this race. With just under a month to go before race day, I hope everybody out there is looking forward to taking on the Arc of Attrition. I hope your training's going well. I hope you're feeling fit, super strong and prepared to tackle this beast. My advice, wrap yourself up in cotton wool, keep yourself fit and healthy for race day. You are definitely in for a treat. The Arc of Attrition is an amazing event. I love it. It's one of the best races I've ever done. So you're in for a treat. The support is incredible down in Cornwall. The atmosphere is electric, and Mud Crew really know how to put an event on. Everyone at Run4Adventure wishes you all the best if you are taking on the Arc 2020. We're going to be down there filming, running around all day, capturing lots of footage on race day, so we'll probably see you around. Really hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you found it useful. If you did, hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that bell notification. That's really important because then you'll get notified when we upload any new content. Any comments or questions about the Arc, get them down below. We'll always try and get back to you and answer your questions. Don't forget to follow us on all our other social media platforms, so Instagram, Strava and Facebook. This video is actually going out after New Year, so we've got to say a big Happy New Year to everyone watching. And as always, stay safe and keep on running.